Hey guys, Frank Herbert here, just back with a quick little cinema trip video. So, we're off on a bit to the cinema to go and see Dune, the most anticipated film of the year. You know, great big epic by Denis Villeneuve, gotta be seen on the big screen. And, from what I've been hearing, it really is an epic. So, I'm really looking forward to experiencing it at the biggest screen at my local cinema with Atmos speakers all around. It's going to be an incredible experience. But I'm going to talk too much more. I'm going to head out to the cinema and go and see Dune. So yeah, Dune. Just got back from seeing it. To be honest, I was really looking forward to seeing this. Grand epic from Denis Villeneuve. On the big screen. This had all the marketing to be good, and to be honest, I thought it was incredible. Had you there for a second. But yeah, Dune, oh my god. This is without a doubt the definitive big screen take on Frank Herbert's classic novel. As someone who's read the book, it makes me extremely happy that we have this, because the last big screen take we got was the David Lynch film, which to say that wasn't the best. I mean, it was alright, it was nothing special, but it really felt like it was trying to cram, the whole book into 2 hours. This film does not have that issue at all. It feels perfectly, feels like it perfectly goes along, perfectly feels like it has enough breathing room to establish, everything it needs to in this film. Obviously, because this is part 1 of 2, because it's such a dense novel that really putting it into one film just wouldn't do it justice. And to be honest, even if we never get part 2, I will still be extremely happy with this film, because it is such an epic. If you're in America or any other part of the world that has HBO Max, do not watch it on there. Do not watch this film on your laptop, because you're doing it a disservice and you're losing out on such an incredible experience. Please do make the effort to go and see this on the biggest cinema screen you can. If you have an IMAX screen near you, go and see it on that, because holy crap, the images in this film are so grand, so epic. It's hard to really put into words just how jaw-dropping this film is. There are so many big images in the film, but Villeneuve, he knows that an epic isn't just throw a load of spectacle on the screen and have a bit of dramatic music to accompany it. Villeneuve knows that to really make something a proper epic, you gotta sell the characters and objects in universe in proportion to the vastness of the landscape. So there are plenty of shots where, like, these big like transport ships, and even like these, and even in like the sand itself, like these like ornithopters, which like House Atreides used to get around the desert. In fact, even people in the desert, it's all like literally compared to these vast like transport ships or the vastness of Arrakis. They look like ants. And and there's just something inherently like so satisfying about seeing big images like this on a big screen. But like even like big image, but even like scenes where like the House Harkonnen like look out to like their vast armies. Like it is stunning what Villeneuve has crafted, and it's an epic the likes of which we have not seen on the screen since at least Return of the King. In fact, it's not even just in the visuals that this film is so stunning. The score and sound design as well are just the stuff of art. Hans Zimmer does possibly some of his best work yet, creating this very unique, very almost tribal sound with like tribal drums and like almost like chanting in the score. And it just creates this really unique sound for the world of Dune. And boy, does that soundtrack travel around the cinema. Literally, I could feel it rumbling in certain particular big scenes. It is so incredible. Like if you watch this on a laptop, you're not going to get the sheer overwhelming experience of the sound design. And honestly, you're losing out on something truly special. And even the special effects as well to bring some of these vast images to life are done so seamlessly. Like the big massive sandworms, for example, another example of people being of ants compared to things in universe, are rendered to perfection. Like I don't know if there's like practical effects used or if it was CGI, maybe even a mix of both. Like they look so real. They feel so tangible almost. And like even the special effects for, like in universe things like the body shields that the soldiers use and like explosions. It just it's just so seamless. You probably won't even be able to tell what's CGI and what's real, and it helps that the film, you know, where most blockbusters these days with like revert to green screens and tons of CGI. That this actually has lots of location shoots and like practical sets, so it always feels real. It always feels tangible, and as a result, you're all the more immersed in the universe. Like you're not watching this universe on screen, you feel like you're in it. But for all this style, one worry you might have going in is, well, if it's so stylish, so gorgeous, so jaw dropping, surely the story's going to suffer in comparison. Not here. This pulls off the Into the Spider Verse trick of really stylish images being perfectly accompanied by a well-rounded, well, not quite well-rounded. Well, it does, leave it open for part two, obviously, because again, you can't adapt this book in one part because you'd be rushing through the whole thing. But for part one, it feels like it tells its own story. Like it never feels like it's bound by being a part one. Like there's so much like world building thrown in, but it all like it always given breathing room to to really allow the audience to process it all. It all feels organic to the story. It never just feels like it's like exposition dump monologues every minute to explain some plot detail. Obviously, in-world things are explained, but they give the audience breathing room. They don't just hold your hand. They actually treat you with intelligence, which is exactly what thought-provoking sci-fi should do. Now, even the characters as well. The actors really sell these characters, and the acting across the board is really good. House Atreides, have this very regal charisma, but like for example, Gurney Halleck has like kind of anger as he has witnessed like the brutality of House Harkonnen. Duncan Idaho, played by Jason Momoa, is like kind of the funny guy and does get a few good laughs. And like even in House Harkonnen as well, they perfectly sell how vile and brutal, ruthless, almost animalistic these guys are, and is great. But of particular note, I want to point out Timothée Chalamet because he is really, really good as Paul Atreides. He perfectly again sells this like regal charisma, as he is like the heir apparent. But he also has this fear, this vulnerability to him that Timothée Chalamet just sells so well. And to those that like probably don't know going in, this is part one. The ending will probably feel quite abrupt, but I knew going in that this was only half the story, so it didn't feel so abrupt. In fact, if anything, it felt like a perfectly logical jumping off point for part two. Which if you've read the book, then you'll know that the direction this goes in. Because there's some really interesting stuff in the second half of the book. Hopefully, we get to see Fade Rotha in the second film, assuming we get it. But even if we don't get part two, I will still be extremely satisfied with this film on its own, because this is the definitive big screen take on Frank Herbert's Dune. Like there are no two ways about it. And to be honest, I really hope there is part two. Like, go and see it. Like, it'll be contributing to its box office and getting the message across to Warners that we want to see more. We want to see the rest of Villeneuve's vision. And to be honest, I'm gonna break this out. This is cinema. This is exactly what the big screen was built for. And I'm going to give Dune a 10 out of 10. This is a film of the year without a doubt. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, what did you think of Dune? Have you seen it? Have you seen the Lynch film? What did you think of that? Have you read the book? And are you looking forward to seeing a part two if we get it? Let me know all that down in the comments. In fact, let me know, did you go and see this in IMAX on the big screen, or if you watch it on HBO Max, you can own up now that. But yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.